Thank you, Barbara, for that lovely offering. Good morning, UUCA. I'm Dan Patterson. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm a grateful member of the Board of Trustees. I apologize for my voice this morning. I'm getting over a cold, and it sounds like it. At Unitarian Universalist Church of Arlington, we are a congregation of people of all backgrounds, races, genders, sexual orientations, and disabilities and abilities, both seen and unseen. Whether this is your regular Sunday destination or you're joining us for the first time, whether you're here in person or joining us online via the live stream, welcome and thank you for being here this morning. I have a couple of announcements. I want to invite all of you to our next First Friday event, July 3rd, this coming Friday. We're kicking off the holiday weekend right here in UUCA Fellowship Hall from 6:30 to 9 p.m. It's going to be a great night of community, board games, and puzzles. We'll provide several games, but you are also welcome to bring your own favorites from home to share. We will serve a variety of hearty sandwiches, and while the event is free, we encourage you to bring along a salad or your favorite dessert to share with the group. Whether you are a regular at our in-person services or typically join us online, this is a wonderful opportunity to get to know your church family over a meal and some friendly competition. We hope to see you there on Friday, July 3rd at 6:30. After the service, please stick around and join us in Fellowship Hall for coffee and conversation. And if you prefer a quieter, calmer space to chat, bring your coffee down to the welcome room to the right as you leave the sanctuary and look for the welcome mat. One of our Sunday ambassadors will be available to answer your questions and be there just to enjoy some relaxing conversation. We're so glad you're here with us in worship and grateful you chose to share this time with our community. Thank you.
Good morning, church. How are you all doing this morning? Good? Did you make it in through the storm? So my plants are so excited that it's raining again because I forgot to water them several days in a row before the rain, and now they're doing that thing, like the leaves are opening up again and saying thank you, not to me, to the rain. I'm the Reverend Carol Thomas Cissel. I serve this congregation as the Minister of Social Justice and Community Development. My pronouns are she, her, hers. That long title means I help develop relationships inside the building, and then we take those relationships out to try to make the world a better place. Best job ever, being able to help people who want to help people. Everyone is welcome here at UUCA. Those of you who have been here before, those of you who have never visited with us, those of you who are online, we are simply glad that you are here. And I want to make sure you all know, church does not only happen right here. It takes a village. We have an amazing pianist with us this morning, Barbara. Lori is here to lead us in hymns. We've got Cameron and Art back in the tech booth. Together we are going to create worship and church. Before we get started, let's say hello to one another. Take a moment to say hi to someone you came with, or say hello to someone new. I love this. You're all chatting with each other, saying hello, welcoming folks. You all make it feel like summer in here. We're in sort of a different mood. I hope you continue those conversations after worship. Our call to worship this morning was inspired by the words of Elizabeth Parrish. Come ye into this space that we call sacred. Come ye into this space that we have named home. Come in and find peace and rest, inspiration and aspiration, fellowship and love. Come into the light from all real and imagined darkness and find a friend's touch for your loneliness and some music for your soul. Come in and let your heart sing for all the blessings that are yours and mine on this day. Come let us join in community and worship and bring all of the goodness in our hearts into this space right now. Come.
Each week, before we light our chalice, we first light a candle of compassion, a symbol of our care for and solidarity with all who are suffering, all who are experiencing violence, all who are fearful or lonely. This week, this last Sunday of Pride Month, as we especially think of our LGBTQIA friends and wish them a prideful year, not just month. Along with our sibling Unitarian Universalist congregations around the world, we light a chalice. The words are in your order of service. We gather together as a community of memory and hope to celebrate life and its infinite possibilities for love. We light this chalice as a symbol of the light within every human heart. May our individual sparks meet and merge, bringing both light and warmth to the world.
Willing and able, and join us in our opening hymn this morning in your gray hymnal, number 361, Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, and we'll be doing all 5 verses.
Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day, and to rejoice and come in. And to rejoice and come in. And to rejoice and come in. Today will be a joyful day, and to rejoice and come in.
Oh, thank you. This is one of the best parts of our service. We're going to do a wisdom lesson call, and then comes summer. You guys ready? You look like you're just there. How about if the little folks move over here so you can see the video screen? I want to welcome the young and the young at heart to come forward for the story. Come over here and sit with me, guys. That way you can see better. Yeah, come on over. So are you all ready for summer? Yeah. It's already summer. Are you ready? What does summer feel like for you guys? What's it feel like? You don't know? What does it smell like? Ice cream. Yes. What else does summer smell like? Cookies. Can I sit right here?
Ice cream.
Ice cream, cookies. Scooch, 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 scooch. There you go. Maybe like grass being cut? Oh, chlorine water from the swimming pool. Lake water, yeah. So we're already in summer. You're right, T. And I think we're going to have a video. Cameron's working on it. Uh-oh. Should we just read it, Cameron? What do you think? For now. Oh, wait. Uh-oh. You guys sing good vibes to the video. Oh. Oh, now we have all kinds of choices. And then comes summer. When the days stretch out like a slow yawn, and leaves and grasses sparkle with dew, and the cheerful faces of Johnny jump-ups jump up. Then throw on your flip-flops and breathe the sweet air. When bumblebees bumble around in flowers and warblers flit from tree to tree, and the air thrums with the sound of lawn mowers. Then pump up your bike tires and dig out your helmet and raise your seat. My, how you've grown. When the last class project is finished and your cubby is cleaned of cookie crumbs and eraser bits, and the end of the year hugs have been given to everyone, then swap out backpacks and notebooks for pitchers and cups at a lemonade stand. When daylight pushes back bedtimes and crickets crick crick in the evening air as bugs as big as thumbs bang against the windows. Then play hide and seek until darkness comes. When stores unfurl the stars and stripes and flags wave from porches and cars and the whole town seems wrapped in bunting, then dress up your bike and pedal as part of the parade. When the bands march by left, right, and all manner of floats float past, and scouts and maybe pioneers toss candy, then grab your blanket and watch the night explode in colorful sprays. Do you guys like fireworks? Yeah. When every day is like Saturday, and porches and lawns and sidewalks are playgrounds, and a familiar jingle interrupts the game, then race to be first in line. Almond fudge, please. There's that ice cream. When the dog days of summer roll around and it's so hot you're practically panting and not even the sprinklers provide relief, then it's time to head to the lake. Let's roll down the window and smell the hot, dry grass. Shout your favorite songs as birds swoop across the fields and ask for the millionth time, are we there yet? When the familiar signs appear at last and the silver lake winks through the trees and an old friend runs to greet you, Then you scramble out of the car, dash down to the beach, and swim till the sun is low and your lips are blue. And when dinner is over and stories have been told and your fingers are sticky with marshmallow and chocolate and the fire burns down to glimmering coals, then snuggle into your sleeping bag and plan tomorrow's adventures. And then comes summer. Can you guys tell me one thing that you want to do this summer? Can you all tell me one thing you want to do this summer? Play. Thank you very much, Lou. You want to finish knitting that sweater. Any other go to the lake. Eat pizza. Eat ice cream. So it actually really is time for summer. Take advantage of it. Think of the things that you want to do, and by the time September rolls around, be able to tell yourself, oh, I did them. Yeah? Okay, I think we're going to sing you all out now. Oh, one more. What? Go to an island. I like that one a lot. We're going to make our bridge and sing the kids out.
Peace to you on your way. May you grow in love each day, meeting new friends and opening your mind to the wonders of the world you will find. To the wonders of the world you will find.
This reading comes from Gary Kowalski, a Unitarian Universalist minister who served congregations around the country. Kowalski has written 8 books, and his work centers on the connection of spirit and nature. This is What the Turtle Taught Theodore Parker by Gary Kowalski. In his autobiography, Theodore Parker relates that as a child, 4 or 5 years old, living on a farm in Roxbury, he was walking through the fields one day, absent-mindedly swinging a stick through the tall grass. This was many years ago, in the days before the Civil War. It was summertime. He stopped to watch the water bubble along a creek, then he noticed a turtle sunning itself on a rock. He'd seen other boys use their sticks to strike at turtles and other animals. It was part of what children thought was fun, just as some children still like to bully and hit those who are weaker than themselves. Often, children and grown-ups, too, are copycats, mimicking the behavior of others who seem bigger or stronger than themselves. Young Theodore wanted to be like the other older boys he'd seen, so he raised his stick into the air, taking aim and preparing to knock the turtle into the water. Then something stopped him. Something seemed wrong about the situation. He looked again at the turtle, quiet, peaceful, enjoying the summer day just as he liked to feel the warmth and light of the sun. Had the turtle ever done him any harm? Was the turtle so different than himself? Slowly, he lowered his stick and walked home, thinking about what had happened. When he arrived home, his mother was there to greet him, and he told her about the incident. She listened carefully to Theodore, and listened especially carefully when he related how some strange force inside had stopped him from hitting the little animal. "Theodore," she said, "that force inside you was the voice of conscience. Always pay attention to it. Always follow what your conscience tells you. It's your moral compass that points you in the right direction. And if you honor your conscience, you'll never go wrong in this world." Theodore Parker grew up to become a Unitarian minister. In fact, one of the greatest leaders our faith has ever known. He became a champion of the defenseless who needed defending. He was a hero in the fight to end slavery in our country. He prayed to Father and Mother God and fought for women's equality and their right to vote. He and his wife never had children of their own, but he felt a sense of kinship with the whole family of creation, people of all sexes and races who had been made in the image of the holy. And it all started one summer day when he was just a child who saw a turtle and decided to do what was right.
As we move deeper into our service, I invite you to join me in a spirit of prayer, of meditation, or to center yourself. Let's start by a little breathing. Breathing in, let that breath out, and another breath in, and let that breath out. And settle yourself right here in this place with these people. Spirit of life, source of sources, that thing that moves through breath and silence, through memory and hope, through every heart gathered here. Source of sources, draw near as we pause together in this hour. Help us remember that holiness and sacredness belongs to all of us, not only to the mighty, or those who seem certain, but especially to the vulnerable, the weary, the seekers, and to all who dare to love deeply in difficult times too. Draw near. Remind us this morning that the sacred is never far away. No, remind us it is here, in the warmth of a hand held, in the courage to show up, in the longing we carry to make the world a beautiful, better place. We ask you to remind us to be grateful to give thanks, to be kind, and to remember that every gesture of generosity, every moment when someone chooses compassion over indifference matters so much in a world, especially a world that is tumbling like ours. Oh, sweet source, help us to know that we are bearers of the light, that we are not perfect, we are not certain, but we are willing to kindle hope, willing to tend to justice, willing to offer love in a world that needs it desperately. Draw near. Come on this Sunday and on all days and be with us. Walk among us, move through us, and be by our side as we are by one another's sides. Sweet, sweet Spirit, draw near and stay. We ask you to stay. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
Would you now please join us in singing Spirit of Life, first in Spanish, then in English, and the words are in your order of service.
Fuente de amor, ven hacia mí y al corazón, cántale tu compasión.
Each Sunday, we share our offering with an organization whose values align with this community's. 70% of the funds collected are donated to the group, and 30% stay within UUCA to support the congregation's work. This month, Share the Plate recipient is Equality Virginia, an advocacy organization leading the effort of advocates across Virginia, protecting the inherent worth and dignity of all LGBTQIA people. More information is in the order of service. We collect checks and cash, and there is a QR code in your order of service. Will the ushers please collect the offering?
Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich, and your mama's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings, you're gonna rise up singing. Then you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But till that morning, there's nothing can harm you. With Daddy and Mammy standing by. Summertime, and the living is easy. Fish are jumping, and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich,
Ours is a congregation that gives. You all are some of the most generous people I have ever come into contact with. You're willing to give your dollars, you're willing to give your time and your talent. It is amazing, the generosity that comes out of this building. I am grateful for that, as are the organizations that we then share what you all give with. Let's bless this offering. We bless, excuse me, and receive these gifts, opening our hearts to the true generosity. And together in one voice, let us be grateful when we give, be it time, talent, or treasure. Let us be grateful for our needs and the sphere of vulnerability. Let us be grateful for those who share their gifts to nurture this congregation. Thank you, ladies.
This reading is by Mary Oliver, who was born in Ohio and attended Ohio State University and Vassar College in New York, though she did not receive a degree. She lived for over 40 years in Provincetown, Massachusetts, with her partner, Molly Malone Cook. After Malone Cook's death in 2005, Oliver moved to the southeastern coast of Florida, where she lived until her death in 2019. Mary Oliver is best known for her awe-filled, often hopeful, reflections on and observations of nature. She published more than 15 poetry collections and several books of prose. This poem is The Summer Day by Mary Oliver. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean, the one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I have been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last, and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?
Before I offer you a sermon, I want to offer you another piece of poetry. So our congregation is filled with people who sing, who write, who play the accordion. We have a multitude of talents. The poem that I'm going to read to you flew out of Lori's body in the last week. Yes? Yes. So I knew that she was going to come and sing, and I always love to work with Lori. And when I sent her the blurb, she was inspired. And like all creative people, once you're inspired, you get busy. And this is what she wrote for me to share in this service. It's called Summer 1973. There was a time when we breathed in hope and exhaled trust. when Stevie Wonder told us, "You are the sunshine of my life," when George Harrison sang, "Give me love, give me peace on earth," when the OJs asked us to join hands and get on the love train. Even Coca-Cola wanted the world to sing. There was a time when we breathed in hope and exhaled trust. The invisible waves of our TV braided us together. Schoolhouse Rock and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, The Wonderful World of Disney, Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Sonny and Cher and Carol Burnett, our family gathered around the box like the gentle, warm fire it was. There was a time when we breathed in hope and exhaled trust. Walter Cronkite told us what was true. NASA was the rocket for our dreams as we chased Jupiter's stripes in the newspapers. Grown-ups celebrated things I didn't yet understand. Roe versus Wade, being gay taken out of the disease manual and the closet, laws to make the crying Indian on TV stop. There was a time when we breathed in hope and exhaled trust. There were problems, but they would crumble like the sandcastles I built with my grandparents on the Jersey Shore. The war would end. A bad man would soon resign from office. Franklin would sit with Charlie Brown on Thanksgiving. They were just starting to build the carousel of progress, and I was sure it would keep turning forever. There was a time when we breathed in hope and exhaled trust. I thought I could fly on a swing to heaven. I zoomed to joy with a bite of red, white, and blue pop rocket from the ice cream truck. Days stretched like the cicadas' endless song, made amazing patterns like my spirograph. I ran outside every morning to find my friends and see what bounty my hours could bring as the sun climbed. And I breathed it all in. Summer 1973. Thank you, Lori. So it's not possible for you not to realize the theme of today is summer. I am very excited that summer is actually here. It feels like a long exhale after months of having to bundle up in times of trouble. Our days are going to warm up, they're going to stretch out, the sun lingers past dinner time, and it feels to me as though we all have permission to slow down. Mostly because it's about to be hot and there won't be energy to do anything else. We all feel a bit more free. School lets out. Vacations are booked and then taken. And if you work remotely, there's a shift in your work too. You might migrate to a comfy chair in the yard instead of using the dining room table. You will send out exactly one email and then call it a day. Most of us love summer because of the way it turns ordinary moments into memories. Barbecues in the backyard, where someone always burns the first batch off the grill. Road trips with the windows down until maybe the AC breaks or it's just too cold and you feel like you're in a hostage situation. Ice cream dripping faster than you can eat it. And the fireflies. That moment in the year when you step outside, and even though you've seen them before, the fireflies amaze you. Summer turns ordinary moments into memories. The small things feel big. And then there's the heat, both physically. The other day I reached for my car door handle and it felt like I had touched a hot stove. And emotionally, I remember the summer when I held hands with a boy for the first time. His name was Tommy, and we were standing in my carport. Do you all know what a carport is? Yes, not quite a garage, but open on the sides. We were standing in my carport in Augusta, Georgia, and he oh so casually took my hand, and I was speechless and grinning from ear to ear. As adults, we get to keep that residue of out of school with nothing to do joy alive. I think maybe summer is less a season and more of a feeling, a lightness, a possibility, that moment when you feel like you maybe can do anything. And maybe summer really is about the 5 senses. And maybe summer has the power to turn back the clock. So the senses, seeing the ocean at sunrise is summer. Smelling the scent of sunscreen and freshly cut grass is summer. Feeling the sun on your skin or the heat rising off the pavement, also summer. Hearing the crack of a bat as it makes contact with a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, that is pure summer. And a red popsicle's taste, it's not a flavor. They're not cherry or strawberry. They're just red. All of those things are summer. And if you close your eyes and think about one of them suddenly, you can be transported. The senses of summer, the smell, the taste, the feel of summer can make you fall back into the midst of a summer that happened a year ago, a decade ago, or 20 or 30 years ago. This summer, this sermon is your invitation to intentionally go back. Not because the past was perfect, but because those summers and the past shaped everything that came after them. And some of those things deserve to be held again, to be turned over in the light, to be re-savored. It was the summer of 1975 when I first understood what music could do to your body. I was 13 years old, and we had a wood-paneled basement. Y'all remember wood paneling? That kind of room that actually belonged to your older brother, not to your parents that owned the house. The one that smelled like him most of the time. The one with card tables pushed up against the wall and a record player that I was never supposed to touch. That night I learned to understand what music could do to a body. My dad was somewhere upstairs in the house. He was home because the Vietnam War had ended that spring. I recall the images of helicopters leaving Saigon, but I'm not sure if I saw them nightly on the news or in the newspaper, or actually many years later, but I know that the fall of Vietnam and the helicopters goes together. Those images are burned into my memory. Our nation was uncertain and unsteady. We weren't sure what we were about to become here in America. But in that basement, with the paneling, earth, wind, and fire filled the room, none of the uncertainty of adults mattered. A boy held out his hand, and I took it. And together we swayed in the not quite dark, because my mom said, leave the lights on. And we weren't entirely sure what we were doing or what dancing was, but we knew it was really important in that moment. And you know, slow dancing at 13 is its own kind of sacrament. It's clumsy and holy and amazing all at the same time. That basement was the first place I learned that music was also a social contract. Stevie Wonder's masterpiece, Songs in the Key of Life, dropped that year, and it felt like it was written exactly for basement rooms and our times. It was warm, it was searching, it was full of feelings that were too big for 13-year-old dancers to hold. But it was just big enough for America to reconsider who it was. In that summer, we were also in the middle of a bicentennial hangover. Flags were everywhere in 1976, though the shadow of Watergate was still stretching across the land. So there we were, Me and my brother, just 2 years older, practicing to be adults in the basement where the speakers crackled. We had a lot of dances that summer. But maybe what we were doing wasn't just dancing. Maybe what we were doing was becoming ourselves in a whole different way. Fast forward. By 1979, things were shifting in the culture, in the pews, and inside of me. In '79, the Iranian hostage crisis was beginning its slow siege on America's psyche. And there were gas lines. Do you remember the gas lines? Do you remember getting up and waiting in line to buy gas and them running out of gas before you could get to the pump? Do you remember turning your car off while you were in line because you were afraid it would run out before you got to the pump? We were in gas lines that coiled around like something out of a fever dream. It was real, but unreal, all at the same time. In that same summer, our Unitarian Universalist Association was in its own period of reckoning and renewal. It was when our UUA started really wrestling with the question of diversity and inclusion that would define its future. They had passed the Women in Religious Resolution a few years before. They had pushed our congregations to examine patriarchal language and doctrine. And that work, it was rippling outward. It was also prompting questions about what it really means to be a people of radical welcome. I was not a UU yet. But in pulling things together from the years I'm speaking of, I realized that somewhere around that time, when I was just past dancing in the basements, this religion that I've adopted was also trying to figure out who it was going to be, too. We didn't know exactly where we were going. They didn't, the UUA, and I didn't. And then came 1980, and there was a graduation. There was a cap and a gown, and there was a diploma that I tucked behind my smile. And Ronald Reagan was running for president on a promise to make America great again. And the country was in the mood to believe in him, though plenty of us weren't quite sure what he was saying or what we were supposed to believe in. I remember that time. Everybody around me seemed to know exactly where they wanted to go, but I felt like I was still standing on the edge of something vast and unnamed and frankly, very scary. The music was there too. Diana Ross was singing Upside Down. It felt personal to me, upside down. Christopher Cross told us all to sail. And I thought, sail where exactly? To me, the future was not so much a destination as a fog. And trying to step off into it took much more courage than the words that were in the valedictorian speech when I got out of high school. I was not quite sure where I was going. The UUA, also not quite sure, trying to consolidate its identity, trying to renew its commitments in ways that would take decades to fully bloom. They were making groundbreaking affirmations of LGBTQ inclusion. They were saying they wanted to do more anti-racism work. Environmental justice was just creeping in to the forefront. And in committee rooms and at coffee hours and in congregational meetings, we were discussing the conservative tide that made our work begin to feel less than theoretical and absolutely urgent. That was the year the moral majority was loud and well-funded. And our denomination and our congregations were trying to live their own principles of pluralism and justice. We're beginning to develop this thing that UUs have that is a quiet resistance that doesn't just get headlines, but actually holds our communities together. Fast forward a little bit more. By 1985, the soundtrack that was holding me together and the world were demanding attention. In 1982, the ERA had failed to ratify, only 3 states short, after a decade of fighting. And the sting of that defeat settled into women who believed that the Constitution might finally say their names too. I remember my mom had magazines with Gloria Steinem on the cover. And I would go with her and sit in auditoriums where the conversation was about what women were owed by law, by culture, and by the men in their lives. That conversation was everywhere and was still unresolved. Our first woman Supreme Court Justice, who took her seat on the Supreme Court. It felt like a door cracking open a little bit, even though others were continuing to slam shut. And through all of that, the music continued. But it changed. In the same place, we could hear the Pretenders, the Talking Heads, and Prince playing 1999. Whew. Think about that. In one party, in one setting, Talking Heads and Prince. I know that there is a soundtrack to parts of my life. That piece of my life with that range of soundtrack was strangely comforting. For as disquieted as I was inside, as unsure as I was of the future, I knew I could survive because of Cyndi Lauper. She just wanted to have fun. What I know now, in 2026, is she didn't just want to have fun, that actually that song was a political statement as much as it was a party anthem. What I'm hoping that you all will do this summer is remember the music, is remember the small things that made you smile, laugh, and the songs that you sang along to, is realize that even in times of angst, anxiety, and trouble, summer is still sacred. Summer still belongs to us. Whether or not there will be a 4th of July celebration that none of us go to, whether or not yeah, I would be less than honest if I did not tell you I will be leaving town on the 3rd and probably coming back somewhere late on the 5th. But summer still belongs to us. And the rhythm that we move into in summer matters. Relaxing a little bit, having a popsicle or two, catching fireflies in a jar. All of those things are important, just as important as the work we are doing to save democracy. Make it a throwback. Pull out your records or find the playlist. Dance in your kitchen the way you would have danced in someone's basement when everything was new and nothing was certain, and it didn't matter because the music led your body. Honor the person you were before you knew how the story was going to turn out. Remember the world that you lived in then, how it shaped us into the world that we have now. There were people who danced through their fear and sang through their doubt and showed up at meetings every single weekend. There were people who marched and voted and testified and organized, even when the outcome was not clear or guaranteed. Remember that history. Hold on to that lineage. Continue to fight the good fight. But gosh, don't forget about the joy of summer. Don't forget about the beauty of a sunset or a sunrise. And please make sure you get to some large body of water, be it a lake or be it the ocean. Put your feet in it and just stand there. In a time when we feel like things are being taken away from us, nobody gets to take summer. Nobody. Blessed be.
Would you now please rise as you're able and join us in singing in our teal hymnal, hymn number 1024, When the Spirit Says Do. And I'll be calling out the lyrics for each succeeding verse.
You've got to do when the Spirit says do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you've got to do. Oh Lord, you've got to do when the Spirit says do. 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 Sing. You've got to sing when the Spirit says sing. You've got to sing when the Spirit says sing. When the Spirit says sing, you've got to sing. Oh Lord, you've got to sing when the Spirit says sing. 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 Dance. You've got to dance when the Spirit says dance. I love it. You've got to dance when the Spirit says dance. When the Spirit says dance, you've got to dance. Oh Lord, you've got to dance when the Spirit says dance. 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 Laugh. You've got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. You've got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. When the Spirit says laugh, you've got to laugh. Oh Lord, you've got to laugh when the Spirit says laugh. 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 Back to do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. You've got to do when the Spirit says do. When the Spirit says do, you've got to do. Oh Lord, you've got to do when the Spirit says do. 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 Spirit says do.
We will now extinguish the chalice. The words are in your order of service. In one voice, we extinguish this chalice, but not the light and warmth it represents. These we carry with us, bringing our sparks of love to the world.
Leave this place and these people knowing the person to the left of you and the right of you wants to be in relationship with you. Knowing you are going to make mistakes, but you get to begin again. And knowing that you are on this journey into summer, into fall, into the rest of our lives together. You are never on this journey of life alone. Leave this place knowing these things. Amen. Let us go forth.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right, noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right, noticing